Well, I'm off on another of my wildlife safaris, this time in a rather unusual location, because I'm in the suburbs of South Dublin, in Rathfarnham in fact. This here is Marlay Park in Rathfarnham. I've never been here before, and it doesn't look that exciting today because it's a cold March day, the end of winter. It looks very dead. There doesn't seem to be much in the way of wildlife, but I have a funny feeling there's more here than meets the eye if we know where to look. So I'm going to go off into the park now. I have a couple of friends waiting for me who know it much better than I do and who have special technical knowledge in it. I'm going to go off and see what they can show me about this park at this time of year.
Right, here we go again.
Yeah. Cold enough this morning,
Very
isn't
cold
it?
this morning, yeah.
Nice oak over there.
Very fine specimen.
Tom Curtis is a botanist. He not only loves trees, he knows a lot about them too. If you go for a walk with him, he keeps stopping to point things out, like a magnificent silver fir in the park, probably the best part of 200 years old and 100 feet tall. Silver firs aren't native to Ireland. This one was planted by someone, and like all fir trees, it's an evergreen. Trees sweat through their leaves. That's why some species drop them in winter to conserve moisture. But the needles of a fir tree are round and waxy to keep in the moisture so they can hang on to them when it's cold, which is why they look as fine as this, even at the dreary end of March. Stream across here.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. You can really see the roots of this.
Very nice.
This tree all spread out. What kind of tree is it?
This is a fine specimen of a beech tree. A tree of that size needs a massive root system to anchor it into the ground and to allow it to take up enough food and water.
And that's what we're looking at down here?
Yes, exactly. We're fortunate here. The roots have been exposed because people have been trampling.
Actually got the opportunity to see it in,
yes, exactly.
to see it in action. We're going down a bit.
Yes.
Strange things, roots. It's always amazing to me that the average tree has as much wood below ground as above.
Yeah, it's sycamore.
It's a sycamore, is it?
Yes, that's right.
So really what we can see here with this, which is the death of a tree, and over there, the roots of the tree exposed, it's like a sort of natural laboratory, isn't it?
It is a very fine example here. You can see a lot of things happening.
We head on a bit.
Yes, okay.
Right. The woodland was far from dead as winter slowly gave way to spring. For many of the plants that grow low down on the forest floor, this is the most vital time of year. They have to get their whole cycle of budding, flowering and seeding over before the big trees blot out all the life-giving sunlight with their leaves. Well, look what's down there. Looks like
a rabbit hole.
A rabbit, would you say?
I'd say
something lives in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're quite close to the edge of the wood here.
Yes, we are.
Because there's very little for rabbits to eat. I mean, there's no grass.
You'd hardly get anything here. I mean, once this canopy closes over during the summertime, you get very little in the way of vegetation.
Right. Hold on a bit. Is that what tree is that?
That's a young beech. And you can see a young beech rarely loses its leaves in the winter. It usually keeps them,
it's kept
even though they're dead.
Since last year.
Yes. It makes rather a good.
Trees show the continuous cycle of life very clearly. The young beech, growing from seed, beech mast, dropped by the parent, is nourished in a rich, fertilizing mould of dead leaves and rotting wood. New life shooting up out of the products of death in a complex ecological pattern.
Broken down bark.
And even the rotting trunk that we saw back
yes,
there.
behind there now.
It's all making this stuff.
Yes, very rich.
And the seeds fall into it and then they produce this.
Right.
And how many years until this reaches the size of some of those big ones?
Oh, maybe 80 years.
Marley, of course, was originally a private house. It changed hands many times and was the home of several famous people, and even a famous horse called Larkspur, which won the Derby. The park was laid out in the golden age of landscape gardening at the end of the 18th century, and finally became the property of the people of Dublin just 9 years ago. And the park keepers do a great job of keeping it in the style to which it's always been accustomed.
Section of each stream has its own.
Freshwater biologists are a strange breed of scientist, never happy unless they're getting their feet wet. And my friend Ken Whelan is a bit like a grown-up pinkeen fisherman. What the hell are you doing?
Well, this is what's known as a kick sample. It takes years to perfect it properly.
It's sort of a little dance.
A little dance.
That's the most extraordinary thing I ever saw.
The flow of water carries the animals down as you disturb them off the rocks.
You reckon that there's something in there? It looks a bit barren.
Well, it's quite amazing because with all the vegetation still looking very inactive, people imagine that a river dies over the winter time. In fact, it's the busiest time of the year as far as the river's concerned.
Looks like a load of old rubbish.
And we'll see what we have here.
Oh, there's a few things moving in it, I think.
Quite a lot. I have a small petri dish here. We should be able to pick out some of the more interesting creatures and have a look at them.
All confused with the bits of leaves and stuff here. You can put them out into that little dish, can
I
you?
think so. It'd probably be easier. The first thing we can see there are lots of mayflies. Some really very nice lads.
Putting a bit of water in the Petri dish.
Yeah, you just
Do you want me to hold
that.
it?
Yeah. And we'll have a look. There's one here.
And that scientific instrument, a plastic teaspoon.
A plastic
Oh,
teaspoon.
look at him.
As you can see,
Now, what is that?
that's a mayfly nymph.
It doesn't look at all like a fly. It's a little creepy crawly thing.
Well, he's just about to hatch. These are creatures that live in the water and hatch out into the air. Yeah. And you can see that just at the back of the head there, he'll split within the next 2 or 3 weeks. The little skin will split, and the terrestrial insect, the actual fly itself, will crawl out at the surface of the water.
That's a fly that spends a good bit of its life underwater.
It spends approximately a year
What's
underwater.
that big thing there?
There's
That
an
looks like a
interesting
bit of twig.
In fact, there's a very small creature in
look,
there.
There's
You
a
can
little
see him
head in
peeping
the
out.
end of it. Yeah.
That's a sedge or caddisfly. And after they've hatched from their egg, they secrete silk down the side of their body, and they roll in sand grains to make themselves a little house. And they live there for most of their life cycle, which
A
is
bit like a
approximately
snail
year.
shell in a way.
It is. It's a protection. All of these have been actively growing over the winter time.
So it's not actually as dead a time underwater as it looks.
It certainly isn't. It's very, very active. All the animals will have hatched out last autumn and will grow actively over the winter months.
But you're hardly going to catch anything bigger than these little creatures in that little pinky net, are you?
Oh, not the pinky net, but you haven't seen my secret weapon yet.
Well, you have something else up your
Oh,
sleeve.
I have indeed. We'll see that a little later on.
So what exactly are you doing, Ken, with this electric landing net?
Well, what we'll try and do here, Dick, is to see exactly what trout are in the stream here. It looks quite attractive in this spot, so I think we'll start just along here.
What do you do?
Well, it's very simple. There's a small transformer in the box, and it's rigged to a 12-volt battery. And I press the button here. It sends a charge of electricity through the water that stuns the fish and draws them to my net.
To kill them?
No, it doesn't kill them. It stuns them for a very short period of time, and then they come through. It's a very good way of seeing what's in a stream without actually damaging
I'd love
anything.
to see this. Do you think there might be fish in this? It's not
Well,
very
this
big.
certainly looks a very attractive spot.
But around this log here?
Yeah,
You reckon there might be good cover for fish there?
there certainly is. There's plenty of bank cover, and up a little further as well. I think the inhabitants are on holiday here. There's no sign of them. Here's one.
Oh, wow! A little trout.
A nice little trout.
You put it in the bucket.
Yes, indeed.
It's not looking too happy. Is it going to?
Oh, he'll recover quite quickly.
Oh yeah.
He's a yearling. I'd say he's a yearling trout.
You seem to be very pleased that there are so many trout in the stream. Is that?
Well, I am, because normally you'd expect to see a few, but we saw very few on the way up.
Does it show the stream is very clean?
It does. Oh, Dick, look! For a pool
Look
of
at
that
that.
size.
For a stream that's only inches deep.
Oh, that really is a magnificent fish.
What weight is he? Well, he ought to be about nearly 2 pounds, but he's.
I
a
would
bit
think
thin.
so. He's very thin. I'd say it's another female that has just spawned.
That means she spawned in this stream.
She has.
probably.
You can see the vent is slightly swollen there.
So she spawned this winter, and some of those little fish we caught could be even her offspring. You can see marks on it.
She's
the gill
very
covers
firm
there.
and quite well fed. That's an extraordinary fish for a stream of that size. It may be one that has come down from the ponds just to spawn, but it certainly is a wonderful fish.
She hardly fits in the bucket.
I think we better put her in the keep net, I think.
So this is a real wild fish. That's the sort of trout that's been here for thousands of years and so on.
Well, in fact, this stream, as far as I can see, is practically unspoilt. It's a real wilderness stream as such. And that fellow did very well picking out that particular spot, because they need habitat with plenty of cover and deep water.
You said fallow, but it's probably a she.
Well, it's
so-
probably a she,
Yeah.
but
And
she
she-
certainly picked out a good spot, you know.
She needs this gravel, like the gravel under our feet, for spawning in the winter. Is that right?
That's right. She probably would have spawned quite close to here and then went back down into the pool in order to recover after spawning. Trout are a tremendous indicator of lack of pollution, because if we have salmonids and trout in the water, well then we certainly won't have much pollution around. If the trout
Salmonids,
disappear,
That's the trout family.
that's
is
the
it?
whole trout family. That'd be char, trout, salmon, sea trout, the whole lot of them.
If,
All
if
of
they're
those,
in the water's can't be polluted.
No, they need a high level of oxygen and plenty of nice clean food and so on to
So
eat.
it's a nice simple test for pollution.
It's
Put
the
a
best
trout in
test.
and see how it does.
Yes.
The Little Dargle River isn't a very big river, as you can see, running here through Marlay Park, but it's absolutely amazing what Ken found on it. There was nothing fake about it. In the space of about 20 minutes, he got a dozen or so trout, some of them enormous trout. Nothing else, no other species of fish, but it's full of trout. A real eye-opener, a real indicator that in the most unlikely places you can find the most unlikely things. At least it amazed me. But these fish here in the bucket are getting a little bit, they've recovered from their electric shocks, but they're getting a bit confined in here, so I'm going to leave them back to fight another day. There's the big fella. Just put him very gently into the water. He's breathing fine, or she I should say. And all the little fingerlings in the bottom, I'll just empty those in gently. There we go. Ken paddled off on his own for a while, and I found him an hour or two later, deep in the woods, exploring another little stream. So what have you come up with, Ken?
Well, Dick, here we have one of the most disturbing influences that we've seen in terms of man's influence on a park like this. This, in fact, is a stream that's badly affected by sewage fungus. You can see it growing all over the bottom of the stream.
What's sewage fungus?
I'll show you now. That's the best description of sewage fungus. In fact, it's a fungus that's brought about by a large amount of nutrient going into the stream from fungus.
Revolting stuff.
Well, it's more than revolting, it's particularly dangerous, because sewage fungus like that can harbour a lot of very dangerous bacteria at times, so that an open sewer, as this is, going through a park could be particularly dangerous. And this one is very bad, and I'm going to report it. We'll see what we can do about it.
Is that why you're wearing those gloves?
Oh, you have to be very careful. There's no way you could handle that sort of fungus with just bare hands. You have to wear gloves, and these are skin tight, so there's no way it can get through to my skin.
What would happen if, say, a child came along without your rubber gloves and dug in there? What sort of diseases can you get, or what?
Well, it's a very potent form of fungus, and inside it, in the fungus itself, you could have all kinds of sewage bacterium called E. coli. And these particular bacterium, as well as other things like maybe spores that could cause gastroenteritis or whatever, those sort of organisms could be harboured in sewage fungus like that.
So it can cause actual diseases like gastroenteritis and things like that to children who played around with
Oh,
it?
I would imagine so, yes. If they just put some in their hand and then put their hand into their mouth, I think it could be particularly dangerous.
There's a duck.
That's a nice
See it
duck.
going up?
Very nice. But the nesting sites here are fantastic.
Yeah, it's absolutely ideal. I suppose they're getting interested in that this time of year.
I'd say so. We certainly saw plenty of evidence of birds around the park building nests and so on, particularly those roofs up at the back.
It's nesting time for birds, and like many species of duck, the male mallard relies on his fine plumage to attract the rather duller female. A bit like a disco.
And there's quite a lot of Potamogeton, brown Potamogeton down at the end there, so I'd say it is quite a variety of water plants a little later on in the season.
I'm really enjoying this. Some fantastic plants along here. Rhododendrons over here on my left.
They're nice and dense.
Yeah.
It's lovely. I'd say it'd be a lovely effect.
Okay, are we ready? Shoulders down, bottom under, tummy in. Ready to stretch. Breathe in. Stretch. Breathe out. Again, breathe in through the nose. Stretch. Breathe out again. Again, breathe in. Reaching up. Breathe out. Now fill the lungs. Breathe in. Now ready, shoulders forward. Roll them 1 and 2. Roll them 3 and 4 again. 5. Well, every Sunday morning we have hundreds of women coming up here to the park. Not just women, actually. It's got to the stage now where they bring their husbands and they bring the children, and the whole family comes up to get some fresh air, to have a bit of fun. We do a workout, they can do a little bit of running, and generally just to improve the quality of life at least once a week.
Eddie, you're a runner, obviously. You can tell that by the way you're dressed, but you're a coach as well, I believe.
That's right, I'm coach to the local athletic club here, Dundrum Athletic Club. It's one of the largest athletic clubs in the country. We've got 300 members. They use the facilities here an awful lot. The amenities are tremendous for running. So we've got large crowds up here right throughout the 12 months of the year.
So a lot of people run here.
A lot of people run here. I think it's probably one of the better facilities for running in the country. We've got champions like world champion John Tracy, who turns up on a regular basis. From our own club, we've got Dave Taylor, we've got Kerry May, we've got Derek O'Connor, people like that who turn out. This is where the champions are made, I think.
So anywhere in the country where there's a park like this, it can really be developed as something important for sporting facilities and so on.
Indeed it could. I'm quite certain that there are a large number of estates like this throughout the whole country, and a lot more of these facilities would ensure that we would maintain our status in the world of athletics or any other sport.
Well, did you enjoy that, Ken?
I really did, Dick. It's a beautiful park. It may be planted, but certainly it's not manicured. And those streams, they're the nearest thing to virgin conditions that I've seen for a long, long time. They're really excellent.
The trout were really amazing.
Oh, fantastic. And the size of them was really a surprise.
Yeah.
It really was.
Tom, what about the trees?
Very nice, very spectacular trees here.
With some
Great
collection.
variety. Great variety of trees.
So, would you like to come again?
Oh, certainly. Any time at all.
Well, I'm glad the two of you enjoyed yourself, but I have a bit of bad news for you. You see this white post here?
Yes.
You see that other line of white posts back there? Well, that's the line for a new motorway called the Southern Cross Motorway, which is going to come through the top of this park and cut off 7.5 acres of it. And although obviously we need motorways, we need roads, the original plan for this particular road would have taken land from across the wall there, would have taken land from somewhere else, but the council, or the corporation, changed its mind, changed its plans and decided to chop a lump off the park. So what's your reaction to that, Tom? Do you think it's going to have much effect?
Well, my immediate reaction is that it's going to be a great shame. There are over 100 fine trees here on our right, and they'll have to get the chop.
And if we were to set out to plant new ones now, it'd take 200 years for them to reach
Easily,
this.
yes.
And they're going to go.
They would indeed.
And what's your reaction to it, Ken?
Well, apart from the loss of these very fine trees, I think there's probably a much larger issue involved. This whole catchment area here of Tala, Rathfarnham, Dundrum, it's a catchment area of perhaps 150,000 people. And this is really a model amenity. It's the nearest thing to a wilderness park that you're going to find. And certainly, if there is another alternative to removing this section of the park, I certainly think it should be taken. Where do you stop? There'll be a reason, a very good reason, for nibbling bit 1. Then you get to bit 2, 3 and 4, and very soon your whole park disappears.